Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about things that you must have if you're going to be living in uni halls. I thought I'd do this video just because a lot of people will be moving into halls at the beginning of the uni year next year. So it's around about now, everyone's looking at what kind of things they need to be buying. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So I've broken up this video into 4 sections. So the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedroom, and then kind of random items that don't really fit in any of those categories. So starting with the kitchen, you are going to need multiples of everything, or at least when it comes to crockery and cutlery. So plates, bowls, mugs, like knives and forks, everything like that, you're going to need multiples of it because it's either going to get lost, broken, or stolen. And that leads on to the second point. Try and make sure the different designs of things. Don't just buy the Ikea generics, because everyone buys the Ikea generics. And then everyone either starts swapping things, people start taking, especially with cutlery, people start taking each other's cutlery without realising, just because they're in the same draining thing, so they just pick it up and take it, thinking it's theirs. So if you can try and get different designs of things. My cups and my plates were from John Lewis. Again, there's tons of places you can get things from, like Wilkinson's. Just try and get plates that aren't just plain white, because people, again, they'll get them confused. And the same thing with like cups. Try and either get them with a design in them or get them to look different to the Ikea generic ones. And yeah, then you'll find it's a lot easier to identify your things in a communal draining board. The third thing that I'm going to point out is something that I didn't even realise existed until Easter, and that is these. These are individual baking sheets, and they're actually amazing because they're a perfect size for just a single portion of food. So I today used this to cook my chicken nuggets for my pasta. So they fitted perfectly on here. You can fit one portion of them on. Obviously if you're cooking for multiple people, they're not ideal, so to have a big one as well, but they save you so much washing up as well, because you literally just need this and they take a lot less space to dry, and also storing them is a lot easier. So I really recommend getting one of these. They'll be linked down below in the description box, along with the other things that I'm talking about in this video. So another thing I recommend you get is at least one plastic glass, because I had a situation that I dropped one of my glasses. I only had 2 to begin with, so then I only had 1, and then obviously if I dropped that one, then it would break and I'd have no glasses left. So I recommend you just have at least one plastic glass. Then if you are clumsy or one of your flatmates knocks them over and they break, you've at least got something to drink out of that isn't a mug. And again, mugs can get broken. So having just a nice plastic glass, I got mine cheap from, I think, TK Maxx. So now if I was to drop my one remaining actual glass, I'd still have a glass to drink out of that can't get broken. So that's another thing, and that concludes what kind of extra items or things that you might not necessarily think of at uni, in your uni kitchen, that you might need. So we'll move on to the bathroom now. So in your bathroom, among obviously getting your toiletries and things like that, and your towels, I recommend that you have like a trolley or like an organiser, depending on the style of your bathroom, to organise your bathroom stuff in, especially if it's a wet room style like the ones that we have here in our suites, because you'll have very little storage in your bathroom, and obviously especially if you're a girl, you'll have probably quite a bit of things that you want to store in there. Obviously if your bathroom's a wet room style, you won't want to store your makeup in there. Not that you should be storing your makeup in a bathroom, but things like my little trolley. If you haven't checked out my uni room tour video, do, because I show what it actually looks like. I got it from Dunelm. It's pretty cheap, pretty easy to assemble. It's on wheels, so I can just shove it out of the way, and I found that that's been really useful to store everything in my bathroom. So yeah, that's pretty much what I would suggest you buy for your bathroom. And now we're going to go on to the things that I recommend that you have. So for your bedroom, I recommend that you buy a laundry basket, and not necessarily the big ones that are bedroom polarized, because you have to then have another bag to be able to take your things to the laundry, especially if, like in Lancaster, our laundrettes are, well, I have to walk down a load of stairs to get to ours because they're not actually in our buildings. So I have one from John Lewis that I'll link below, but I'm sure you can find them in other places. And it falls down really flat, so it was easy to bring up here, which is another thing that obviously is going to be difficult at uni. And it can hold about 1 to 2 weeks worth of laundry in it, which is, if you're going to be doing laundry every week anyway, that's pretty much all you're going to need to be able to hold in there. When I say 1 to 2 weeks, it's because I normally do my colours every 2 weeks because I have less coloured clothes and more clothes that can go in the darks, like dark blues. So I do my darks pretty much every week. So I just sort it out when I come to do my washing, and then fill it back up with my colours that I haven't washed. And again, going with that, you need an airer, and I got a fold down airer from Sainsbury's, I believe it was. And again, I showed that in my uni room tour, and that's really helpful. But my laundry basket also has handles, so I can literally just pick it up and take it to the laundrette, so save having to sort everything out, get it into another bag, then take it to the laundrette. So that's been really handy. Another item that I suggest you have for your uni hall is a really nice side lamp next to your bed, if they don't have like one already. And that's because university halls can have quite horrible lighting, especially if you want, in the evenings, you don't want a horrible like big light on. I've got mine on at the moment because it's better for filming, but I hate having my big light on unless I'm doing work during the day and it's fairly dark outside, because I don't actually have the sun facing my window. And the only other light that I have is a desk light that's quite inaccessible because of where I put my TV in my room. It actually covers where the light switch is, so I have to lean over my TV. So I have this light behind me that you can see. It's from Next. Again, I'll link it down below. I have the exact same one in my house at home. I really like it because it's a touch light. I talked about it again in my room tour. You can just touch it on and off, which is really fun. And it's a lot easier than having to try and find a switch in the middle of the night. And again, it means that you can actually see your room at night. If you wanted to get up, you can just hit the light and then you can see. So again, that's another thing that's quite useful. Another thing that I'd recommend is little pots, storage bins and baskets. Uni halls don't have a lot of storage in them. Like I say, if you've watched my uni room tour, you'll see how much extra storage I've added in through bins and baskets and things. So one good example of it right next to me here is this basket here. This has pretty much all my lipsticks, my mascaras, any kind of loose items of makeup that isn't in big palettes goes in here, unless it's foundations. And that goes on top of a 3-bin drawer with all my makeup, the rest of my makeup in it. I have little pots with my brushes in them. I have some bigger pots that actually came from the James Charles collection. But yeah, I have lots of different pots with all my stationery and things in, and it just helps you have a place for everything in your room and get it really nicely organised. I have bigger things, so I have like a storage bin that's strong enough so that someone can actually sit on it, so it gives me extra seating in my room. I have a basket from, I think they're from Ikea because I actually stole it from home, and they fold up again, so those are really handy. And I've got one in my wardrobe and one under my bed, under my desk, sorry. And again, I use those to add storage to my room, and I find that those have been really helpful. So that concludes what I would suggest you make sure you have in your bedroom. And then miscellaneous. This kind of ties in with the first thing I said in the kitchen, is to have multiples of everything. So if you have multiples of bedding, so I have 2 sets of sheets, it means that you can wash the sheets less often, because you can change your sheets every week, but only need to wash your sheets you wash your sheets every week, but you can immediately put a set on and you don't have to wait for them to dry, which means you don't have to actually use the dryers if you don't want to. Because as you'll probably find out if you're on circuit, the dryers are not normally the best, and they're quite expensive, so it's sometimes better to dry oil things in here, but obviously that takes more time. It takes 24 hours for things to dry in your room, or it did in mine anyway. And again, multiples of towels so that you always have a dry and clean one, so that you can rotate them around and make sure that you keep your towels clean. I just have 2 sets, so I have a light grey set and a dark grey set, and then I have a beach towel as well for the swimming pool and the gym. And then again, I talked about in my going home video, I have a hand luggage suitcase. You're gonna want one that's quite sturdy because it's probably gonna be chucked around a bit. So it's perfect for a few days back home. I can fit quite a lot of things in it. It's quite a deep case. I'll see if I can link it for you, because it's also hand luggage approved for going abroad and things on planes. Obviously, I can fit about 2 weeks worth of washing in it if I like cram it in there and don't bring anything else home with me. And yeah, I found that that's really useful. Obviously, if you're living further away from uni, you might want a bigger suitcase, but then it's the issue of storing it. I talked about that in my room tour video. My suitcase can fit under my bed, but it's tight getting probably anything bigger than that in there. So just bear that in mind if you don't have anywhere obvious you can store your suitcase when you're at uni. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's any other questions that you have about things that you might need at uni, feel free to comment it down below and I'll get back to you, or DM me on Twitter or Instagram. I hope this has helped. I've tried to include some things that are fairly obvious, and then also some things that you might not have thought about, like the individual baking sheets. So I hope it's been helpful to you. Like, comment, like I said, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.